the 1700s, people ate about 4 pounds of sugar a year. Today, it's more than 150 pounds. How did we go from a teaspoon to a truckload? Let's unpack how sugar went from barely there to everywhere, and how big food made it impossible to quit. Today on Holistically RJ. In the 1700s, sugar was almost rare. Like, yes, you can eat it in, like, it's in a lot of food, like fruits, and even there's some sugar in milk. But back then, if you did have a sweet treat, it was rare, and you weren't eating all of these processed foods with added sugar. That's the biggest issue, is added sugar, refined, processed added sugars in our food. Back then, they're eating meats, grains, fruits, vegetables, eggs. They're eating whole foods, and they're naturally getting the glucose that they need from those foods at a healthy rate. And think about it, 4 pounds, that's like a bag a year of sugar. I can't even imagine just eating that much sugar in a year. And now we eat. And I can't even imagine 150 pounds of sugar either. Like, that we actually eat that. We actually eat more than my body weight. We actually eat more than my body weight in sugar. How did we get here, and how can we make our country a healthier place? So, going from 4 pounds to 150 pounds a year on average. I understand, like, back in the 1700s, there was a lot more people that were starving. Food wasn't as abundant. Now we have more food, but it's ultra processed and has, like, everything has sugar in it. Why is that? In the 1800s, you have the effects of the Industrial Revolution coming into play, where it's easy and cheap to manufacture refined sugars. By 1900, we're at about 60 pounds a year. This is when big food is really born, and Coca-Cola and all those other companies start liquefying sugars that don't have any added nutrients. In the mid-1900s, we're at a point where sugar isn't just a treat, it's breakfast. It's completely doused our food. Around the 1970s and 80s, Howard Moskowitz, a food scientist, coined the term bliss point. This is the perfect balance of sugar, salt, fat to hijack our biology and tell us to just keep eating more and more and more. This is why when you eat a Hershey bar, you say, oh, I'll just eat 1 square or 2 squares, and then you eat half the bar. And this is why my kids, like, can't stop thinking about goldfish or, whatever processed junk they get their hands on. And to me, this is very sinister. That we as a country and as a culture are letting people prioritize profits over the health of America. Today, added sugars are in everything. Howard Moskowitz literally coined this, I believe, to make spaghetti sauce, like commercial spaghetti sauce, more appealing to consumers. It's in ketchup, it's in bread. They add it to bread. And things are greenwashed too. The healthy, this or that you grab for yourself, for your family, or your kids. Sugar's second on the list. And it's mind-boggling that most of the sugars in the 1700s were coming from whole foods and natural things like honey. It wasn't these refined processed sugars that were literally dumped into food. If Americans didn't eat like they do today and they actively made the decision to take added sugars out of their diet, just added sugars, not just sugars that are naturally in our fruits, we would be a drastically healthier country than we are right now. That would be night and day. What is actually coming to fruition from this unhealthy eating? Studies have linked it to behavioral issues, obesity, and 150 pounds of sugar a year explains my week, how I'm feeling, how my kids are feeling. It's incredible and it's shocking, honestly. And I know it's so hard because of this bliss point and because our biology is literally being told you need to keep eating this. This is how we've been designed, is to eat the sugar when you find it. That's how our ancestors ate. And now it's at our fingertips at all times. How can we get somewhat back to what we used to be? We need to shout from the rooftops. We need to have political changes. We need to incentivize big food to make healthier choices for their consumers. Not force them, but incentivize. We need to have better education. It needs to be in our everyday lives. We need to be thinking about this is drastically terrible for my health, my family's health, my community's health, and my country's health. That's how we can change America. This week, let's just try and check the label. Maybe don't even make any changes, but when you pick up something, see how many added sugars on the nutrition, the black and white section on the nutrition label. Look how many added sugars there are on your food. See if it makes a difference and if it changes your mind to how much sugar you're eating. And let me know if there's any good products. Let's talk in the comments. What's the best products you find? I absolutely love the spaghetti sauce from Whole Foods, 0 added sugars, and it's delicious. As we do this, we can have healthier lives, healthier families, and a healthier America. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Holistically, RJ.